friend. I'm so glad you're here for another episode of the Happy Whole You podcast. Today, I have inventor, author, and entrepreneur Mark Fox with me, and he is a true Renaissance man and a versatile entrepreneur, scientist, and former Space Shuttle Chief Engineer. His diverse background includes experience as a hot air balloonist and an airplane builder, showcasing his passion for innovation and pushing boundaries. He is the creator of Vibe, a revolutionary pocket pulse electromagnetic field PEMF device. And I actually have it on me right now. You can put it in your pocket, you can put it around, hang it around your neck. And this Vibe emits frequencies that you actually program depending on what you want. And these are safe frequencies, 100,000 times lower than the frequencies put off, the bad frequencies put off that from your cell phone. So it makes it a safe and gentle therapy option. And it is a really cool, sleek, easy to use device offering a drug-free home-based alternative. And I actually use it. My daughter, when she sleeps at night, I'll turn it on and I will put it right next to her. It's seriously, literally, you could put it in the back of your pocket. So we're going to talk about that today, and we're going to talk about frequency therapy. I'm excited to share Mark with you, and look in the show notes as well, because we'll have some links to his devices and to connect with him as well. So here we go. All right, Mark, thanks for joining me on the Happy Whole You podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
So I actually have, for those on YouTube, you can see I have in my back pocket my PEMF frequency device that you shared with me. And this is so easy. I just put it in my back pocket. I was saying on the intro, when my daughter sleeps, sometimes I'll do a setting and I'll set it right next to her. It's just like easy, sleek, can use it, program it for different settings. So I definitely want to get into this amazing device that you have. But first, can you share with everyone a little bit about yourself and how you even got into this industry, these inventions?
Yeah, well, I'm not a doctor, or ex-rocket scientist, and I worked on the space shuttle for about 17 years, but I've done a bunch of other stuff. I played around with DNA, making music and art, and then started about 12 different companies, just playing, doing weird things. None of them really worked. On this one was, well, now it's like probably 27 years ago, is my dog. She couldn't come up the stairs one morning. And when we lived in Utah, she just started crying, which she'd never done before. So we had to flip a coin to see who wasn't going to work that day, which was me. So I ended up taking her to the veterinarian. They did an x-ray, and she had severe arthritis in her spine. And you kind of know how dogs are. They don't complain until they're to the point that they're awful, right? So another veterinarian who is a very good friend of mine, his name's Dr. Oz Jackson, very forward thinking. And he's like, hey, there's this magic machine that can reverse arthritis with frequencies. I'm like, oh, I don't think I believe that, but it's my dog. So why not, look into it and try it. So unfortunately, she got really sick really fast, and the machine was a couple states away. So it wasn't easily accessible. But so that we didn't get to treat her for it, but that's what sparked my interest initially. So, I'm skeptical, like everyone else should be, maybe worse. I'm a rock scientist. Like, this can't work. It's frequency energy. There's no way this is right. So and you look into it more and more, and there's more and more data. And then you go do your homework, and there's 6,000 published papers on it. And it's like, so then I started to look at PTSD, because I'm a veteran too, theoretically, however you call it. I mean, I'm a Army Reserve combat engineer, but that doesn't really count for benefits. So I don't know if but anyway.
Well, they train you. That's what I say about veterans or anyone that has done any type of military training. They are training you. My brother was in the military. My grandpa was in the military. They train you to go to war.
Right.
And if that doesn't mess with your brain, I don't know what could, no matter what level you're at. So, I just want to throw that out there, because Yeah.
No, absolutely. And so, yeah, to that point, and I initially looked at the military of what it was doing for PTSD. So it was helping so many people with PTSD, but like I said, one machine was 2 states away, and then the doctors are holding them in clinical environments hostage, and the machines are expensive. And I'm like, there's got to be a way to make something that's affordable. It shouldn't be a $15,000 machine. And I'm like, I never really invented any hardware like that before. So I naively, like being an idiot, go, "Man, you just make a coil and put printed circuit board stuff in there. Shouldn't be hard." Well, we caught several of them on fire and had a pile of coils over here. It used to be up 8 feet high over in the roof over here, just trial and error with coils. I'm like, this shouldn't be that hard. We finally nailed it, got it figured out. But it was because of PTSD and the 44 suicides a day in the US. So 22 military veterans, 15 first responders, 5 medical workers, 2 active duty. That doesn't count any civilians, right? And as we got more and more into it with our own clinical trials, and we have a 98% success rate with PTSD, which is crazy, but we do. And it's statistically significant. We have probably the largest study ever done with this technology and PTSD. And more than half of our customers are civilian women. They've got crappy husbands, bad boyfriends, miscarriages, kids are bad, life, car wrecks, all that
Yeah.
stuff. So that's why I ended up inventing it, was primarily for PTSD, but then there's 60 programs on there, plus there's 70 expansion protocols. So there's literally 130 protocols. So I started just recently naming it that. It's 130 devices in one, which all my marketing friends, and I'm a marketer too, is like, you can't tell them it does all that, but it does, right? So
Yeah, and you have your arthritis on here. That would have been great for your dog.
arthritis is great for dogs and horses.
Mm.
So it's kind of weird is, and we can talk about at a higher level energy therapy, but PEMF is just one of the 5 modes you can deliver it. Now, if you walk a man on the street with a microphone and you go, "Hey, have you ever heard of PEMF?" It's going to be, used to be 1 out of 20. It'll be about 1 out of 15 now that they have heard of a mat, or they laid on a mat at acupuncturist or chiropractor or a wellness spa. So it's about 1 out of 15 maybe have heard of it. In the horse world, every horse owner has heard of it.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
all know what it is because of MagnaWave is this big, gigantic $15,000 machine. Looks like a keg of beer with big, you know, copper rings and stuff to treat the horse, which is a big, huge misconception. And I have an ongoing bet with about 30 different cowgirls that are telling me there's no way this 2-ounce thing's going to do anything for a 1,000-pound horse. I'm like, yeah, it will. Prove it. So we have like it's basically a cell phone holder that is a 30-inch elastic strap like that goes around the horse's neck.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's on their vagus nerve.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
just like a human has vagus nerve both sides of their neck, so does a horse and a giraffe that way. So that's kind of how we got into. Now there's lots and lots of the protocols that we've tested and looked at and stuff, but I'll quit talking for a minute and you can ask another question. So that's how I got into it initially.
No, I love it. Okay, so can you, for someone out there that's like, okay, well, what is PEMF, and like, how does this help the body? Like, if they're like, sorry, I don't know what you're talking about here. Well,
Right.
how would you explain that to them?
So I said it's 1 of 5 levels. So go to a higher level for a minute and just think of nothing in the world happens without an energy exchange. You don't cook hot dogs in a campfire. You don't fall down and break your arm. You don't drive your car without gasoline, right? You don't breathe oxygen. You don't do anything without an energy exchange. Now, if you think about it from that level, is energy can be transferred to your body by PEMF, magnetic field, electrical current. A lot of people are familiar with like a TENS unit where you put pads on yourself. That'd be electrical current, light, vibration, or sound. So most people are familiar with, singing bowls, if not chanting, humming, that type of thing. Listen to your favorite song, right? That's all therapeutic, right? So the energy can be transferred to the body that way. I chose magnetic field just because it's the simplest for on the go. I don't have any wires on me. There's no coupling agents. I don't have to lay on a mat. People go, well, why is this better than a mat? Okay, well, it's 152 times smaller. Okay, you can take it with you. You can take it on an airplane and it's affordable, right?
Yeah.
So That's it at the energy level. At the simplest level of how it works on the body is the cells in your body have an electrical charge like a car battery. And it's been proven many times when that voltage gets low, you get sick. So it recharges your cells' batteries. That's been proven. And then ATP, which is the main, it's a chemical. It's adenosine triphosphate. I always pronounce it a little wrong. Somebody picked on me before with that. But ATP, it's the main food that your cells use for energy. It increases ATP up to 500%. So it's recharging your cells' batteries. It's giving the cells more food so your body can do what it does naturally, which is to heal itself. That's it at the highest level. And then when you get into all this, prove it, prove it, prove it. Well, nobody knows how aspirin works. And that's been around for 3,000 years. We have theories on how it works. And when nobody knows how any drug works, we have a theory how they work, but you never prove it, right? So that's what we know, though, at the highest level without going down the rat hole. It's giving your body the energy it needs to fix itself.
Hmm. So within the device, you have like the different types, like you have arthritis, sleeping, you have all of these things that you can program into it. So when you program into it, what is it doing? So if once I push start and I hit like, for the sleeping one for my daughter, like what's happening?
So just to clarify, you're not programming anything. That's why it's built pre-programmed. You're just
Oh
picking
yeah,
it.
I'm just pushing buttons, by the way.
But that's a very, very conscious design is I don't want it programmable. And when doctors call me to go, how do I program it? You don't, and I'm not going to let you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's simple and easy. But where it comes from, this is kind of a weird story if people don't know this. So back in the early 1900s, literally 100 years ago, there was a lot of research going on in electrical therapies and stimulation.
Mm,
Dale Carnegie and Rockefeller came along. Rockefeller owned Standard Oil. He owned all the oil in the country. And he figured out I can make drugs out of
mhm.
oil. So, and Carnegie and him together own the medical field. They own licensing and funding to universities and all that. So they
Due
basically
to
came,
the Flexner report.
a Flexner
We've
report came
talked
out.
about that on the podcast before. Yep.
Yeah, 1934, a Flexner report came out. So those two guys, like, so they said if it's not surgery, you're not
Mhm.
cutting somebody, or it's not drugs, you're going to lose your funding. So, which is insane because your body is chemical, electrical, and mechanical. You can't leave one of those out and treat
Correct.
those. So, but that's what happened in the US is it all got scrapped, all of machines and the knowledge and paperwork, and some of it just got lost. A lot of it was intentional. You probably know
Yeah.
Raymond Rife and stuff, and burning his place down and getting rid of his research, right? So what was found about in 1990s, a chiropractor found a card and an old machine to practice with some knobs and wires on it that said 40 hertz vitality, 120 hertz secretions. What does that mean? So she started playing with it. So since that time, last I checked, about 8,000 practitioners over 35 years have been playing with it. Now, if you think of it this way, they're frequency pairs and they're changing every 1 to 4 minutes on average, and every protocol is different. So frequency A roughly is where is it? B is what's wrong with it. Okay.
Mm.
So if you picture an artist playing music, a chord on a guitar, that's the frequency pair. The protocol is a song. So you just keep rewriting songs. You're jamming in the garage and try different stuff. Um, for example, Lyme disease. I had a couple hundred people ask me, what do you have for Lyme? Nothing. I don't have anything. And then you get on a Facebook call with these poor people that have had Lyme for 20 years. And you're like, they're like, please. So I dug into it in the research and I found another researcher that figured out 1 to 4 hertz brainwave delta will kill the bacteria.
Mhm.
However, that is a nasty little bacteria, Lyme. It disguises itself as other things. And when you kill it, it fights back by spitting poison. So it makes you feel sick. It's called Hertzheimer reaction, I think, if I pronounce that right. So we got to develop that song or that protocol, which is okay, cut down on the power a little bit, kill it, then run the liver protocol to clean the toxins out of your body, then run vagus nerve to rebalance yourself, then turn up the power a little bit, kill it again, and do that cycle. So
Mhm.
that's one that we're actively doing right now is learning the song and teaching it with people. Vagus nerve is another one to get it tuned right, playing with a bunch of different things. So we just finished a clinical trial with vagus nerve stimulation to decrease your heart rate, increase heart rate variability, and reduce anxiety, better sleep, more relaxed and balanced. And it came out. The good news, we had 3 different protocols we were running, and they were all good. But like this
Nice.
was better on 1 and this was better on 2. It depends what you were actually measuring. So we really had a hard time figuring out which one to put on there. So we did a lot more testing and it finally settled on this is probably the best one. But yeah, it's still trial and error. Sometimes people will call me and go, we get hundreds of emails a day. Somebody will go, hey, do you have anything for RSJC? What is that? I have no idea. So you go Google it, which you don't want to do without a cold drink because you can't unsee whatever you see. So
Yeah, yeah.
you go in and you go, I don't know what. So then you just read a bit from it and you go, okay, 80% of the time it's going to be inflammation of something.
Mhm.
So you tell them just run general inflammation. I had a lady call me one time say, hey, it happens every couple weeks. I get this itch on my arm where I actually scratch myself till I bleed. The doctors have no idea what it is. What would you do? They don't even have a name. I said, I don't know. Try relax and balance and allergies. And it went away. Right. So there's a lot of trial and error like that. I had 3 doctors actually last summer in the same week. This was a weird serendipity. They said, hey, this thing's kicking butt for MS. I don't have an MS protocol. I go, are you running fibromyalgia? And they go, yep.
Mm.
So anything kind of nerve related like that, if you run fibromyalgia, seems to help a lot. So yeah, long answer to your question, but there's a lot of trial and error, and there still is trial and error. But the main protocols, 95% of them I have on there came from 8,000 people over since 1990, playing it, rewriting songs, and coming up with the top hits. Okay. Yeah, it's never said it that way. So the top hits. And it's interesting to me that I just said that because to take some of the magic out of it, 2 things. One is PEMF is produced by the earth. It's all around you.
Yes.
So 7.83 hertz is called the Schumann frequency. The other thing relative to biggest hits, this is a music player. So
Mm.
all of that development that I did starting from scratch, I finally went, wait a minute, the protocols are actually MP3 files. So all the protocols I've written, I'm not a musician. God, I wish I could play something, but I can't. But on a music synthesizer, I made all of the protocols and then output was an MP3. So it's actually a music player that doesn't have a speaker. It has coils. So your body's listening to the song, your ears are not.
Mm.
So that's what's kind of unique. In our patent, that's what's unique about it. We're the only ones I know that are delivering it as music through magnetic fields.
Yeah. Okay, that was like the best description. I'm with you 1000%. And yeah, I love frequency therapy and it's so powerful. And if you would have even asked me this probably 10, 12 years ago, I would have been like, what are you even talking about? Like, because we're so programmed that if you can't touch it, you can't see it, then it doesn't even exist. And I mean, I've seen over the last 8 years of using frequency therapy with clients how effective it is, how well it's worked on me. And I can't describe it, but what you just described makes so much sense. And it's so powerful. So, and I'm over here and, this device is a few $100s and which is amazing because, I have a biocharger, which is 17, 18,000. I also have, a beamer therapy, which is, $7,000 therapy and which are great because we use those for clients every single day. They come in and they can afford to use it at a reasonable price. But I love that this is like put it in your pocket and you can take it with you. Because I don't, I know there's been some other devices out there and I get things pitched to me all the time, but I've been using this for I think 2 or 3 months now. And it's just so convenient. Like literally one time my daughter actually brought it to school and she did the ADHD setting on it. And I just put it around her neck and it stuck down her shirt because she's 12, and so she just played all day with it on her, and I was like a little worried if it would come home, but it totally did. So it was absolutely fantastic, and so I love that you've created this. Um, who would you say? I know this is like for everyone, but who would you say this device is for? Like if somebody like who would you say this device is for?
And I get asked that all the time, and I ask myself that all the time because when I'm trying to do marketing, how do I
I
ask?
know they want you to pinpoint your ideal client.
And the answer is who the clients. So who the clients are now mostly, okay, is it's people that have long-term physical or mental pain or both, usually both, and whatever they're doing now isn't working. It's that
Mhm.
that's why they come looking for it. So
Yeah.
I wrote an article because all the Facebook haters we have are just enormous, right? So I wrote an article called Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire. Here's the top 100 scams of all time because I've been called Hitler, scam artist, death threats. It's unbelievable. So I
Yeah.
start listing things like DNA sequencing, CRISPR, antibiotics, MRIs. So here's all these things that are absolutely positively impossible. They're impossible, but we use them every day.
Yeah.
An MRI is the most amazing machine ever designed by a human being. If I explain in layman's terms how it works, you'd go, that's impossible. But we do a million of them a year and nobody doubts the picture, right? When they
Yeah.
look at it.
Yeah.
So
Because
it's,
the MRI sends a radio frequency, right, to the body and it gives you a picture. How to
you want the quick explanation of MRIs?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So in your body, so this is 8 Gauss. It's a level 9 Gauss level energy. An MRI is 50,000. It's massive. So the protons in your body have a north and south pole, and they all are kind of like the Earth, and they're all randomly
Right.
mixed. Right? You hit somebody with 50,000 Gauss, it makes all the protons in your body line up like a laser. Then your body starts emitting energy like a laser. Then you take literally AM and FM radio. Okay, that's what you're alluding to. If I want to see the heart, and I'm making up the numbers
Right.
from it. The heart's 103.7 FM, the liver's 206, right? You turn the radio thing, you hit them with the radio signal. Then you turn everything off. That's what an MRI is doing when it's clicking. You turn everything off, all of your protons snap back to randomness. When they do, your body releases, it explodes energy, and you capture the energy on a Fourier transform machine. That's how you make a picture.
Mm.
That is the most magical thing. There's 5 levels of magic in there that can't happen, but they do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's all magic until it's not, and it's commonplace.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy. And then I know that like when they dissolve or target um with the kidneys when people have kidney stones, they use frequency. There's some type of frequency involved in that, which I always find interesting because I'm like, okay, if we say that this device can't do whatever, it's like that similar technology is in breaking up kidney stones.
It is, and to get even so, and that's what it's called. I termed it resonance frequency therapy. So everything resonates at a certain frequency. Um,
Mhm.
if you're old like me, you'd remember Ella Fitzgerald on is it Memorex or is it Live, where she goes ah and breaks the glass. Her
Yeah.
voice is with the glass. The everyday thing that everyone can relate to. And now you're gonna go, never thought about that. So when you open your car, unlock it with your fob, why does it unlock your car, not the one next to it?
Right. It's a
Because that
specific.
transmitter in your hand is resonating with the receiver,
Yeah.
right, on your car. When I go to listen to 103 FM, why do I not hear 104 FM? Because
Right.
I'm resonating with. So it's all resonance. We're all frequencies. We all vibrate at a certain, and each thing vibrates different. So what you're talking about with kidney stones, they're hitting it with a resonant frequency that's
Mhm.
like Ella Fitzgerald breaking glass.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what it is.
So good. Like so good. This is such a great conversation to have because I think for some people that, it's kind of hard to wrap our head around it. Like and the thing that's funny to me is like our cell phones, like I have my cell phone right here. Nobody questions how this thing works.
Right.
everybody's just like using it. But then if I show my cell phone and then I show this device that I have that is yours, the Vibe, it's like there's so many questions about the Vibe, but not many questions about the cell phone. And so I love that you're bringing it at a level that is understandable,
Right.
because I think that that's what we need is we need just knowledge. We need to understand it because we've been so brainwashed to think that if we don't cut our skin open and we don't take a pill, then the healing doesn't happen, which is wild and is so not true. Um, so yeah, I could like talk about this for hours.
Yeah. And the cell phone one, I'm one of those nerds that looked into how a cell phone works, and it's so complicated. I always wonder, like, you keep adding more and more phones. How are you doing? They're doing the 0 and 1 splitting. They're doing some very bizarre algorithm mathematics to be because you remember in old days, you could hear somebody else's conversation like on a phone or something. You don't get
Right,
that.
right.
You don't get the bleed over anymore. They figured some stuff out. It's
Yeah.
complicated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what would this look like if you had it on the Mayflower? Try and explain that, coming over on the boat. What is that thing? It's like, yeah. So it it's pure magic. I think Arthur Clarke said or something, and it's all pure magic until it isn't, right? It's something like that. I'm paraphrasing until somebody goes and you go look at that list I was just mentioning of all the things that are absolutely unbelievably magical.
Mhm.
But once you understand, they go, oh, well, okay, I guess it's not that magical. We just didn't have it before.
Yes. Yes.
And now you do. So
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay,
one,
so
one, go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say one comment to that. So there's again being an old dude there in the 70s, there's a comedian called Rich Hall. On TV, he had a thing called sniglets, and they were words that were not in the dictionary but should be. And one of them was boson. It's a combination of bozo and ozone. It's an invisible gas that surrounds people and stops new ideas from getting in.
Oh.
So get rid of the boson. And here's what I tell people all the time when they attack me about double blind studies. I was like, we're doing all we can, but we're not a big firm, right? We test what we
Yeah.
can. But
Yeah.
if I had $100 billion in double blind studies, it's still never going to be 100%. And it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So you don't ever know till you go try it. So I always try and get people back past that hurdle is we have a 30-day money back guarantee. We'll let you keep it longer if you need to. Try it. It doesn't work. I don't want anyone to ever have one and have their money. We'd never not refund somebody that wanted to return it. Fortunately, our return rate's extremely low, but just get over it. Is relief before reason is what I keep telling people. If you're not hurting anybody, which is my number one goal, relief before reason. Because you asked me how it worked at the beginning. I talked about voltage and ATP. That's scratching the surface. In my lifetime, I'll never know exactly how it works, but I don't
Mhm.
care. Right.
Yeah.
And then you get this placebo argument with people like, hey, time, if it's 100% placebo, which it's not, but if it is, somebody has PTSD and they're suicidal, they have a gun in their mouth and now they don't,
Yeah.
or they're going to get divorced. These are all real stories. You're going to get divorced. Now they're not. The kids don't want to play with you anymore. Now they do.
Yeah.
All those things, I don't care if it's placebo. And there's some factor and there's placebo. It can't all be real because we have lots of biomarkers and stuff you can measure as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, you just go try it. But that isn't the normal customer that we're going to find is long-term pain, mental and physical, or if they're already into amorous crystals and Reiki, am I even saying that right? If you're into
Reiki. Yeah.
Reiki and meditation stuff, you're already kind of there, and those people are a lot easier to sell it to. And they have a more open mind and they have a higher success rate. It's
Yeah.
the nocebo people that have gone, literally, I've almost started this as if somebody asks me 4 times what the return policy is before they buy it, to say, don't buy it, please.
Yeah.
You've already made up your mind it's not going to work. And
Yeah.
mind over matter is a real thing. It's been measured many, many times.
Oh yeah. No, it's so true. Our thoughts can make us sick. Our thoughts can make us well. And I mean that is a huge thing. The body follows the mind, not
Right.
the other way around.
Right.
So, absolutely. Well, I love this device that you've created. Where can people connect with you and learn more about you and the work you're doing?
So Resona, it's short for resonance, RESONA .health. There's no .com on there. That's the main website they can go to is resona.health. There's a knowledge button on there that they can click on. We also have I wrote a book called, okay, you'll
Oh,
like
yeah,
this.
your book.
I wrote a book called Resonance Frequency Therapy, and I told my marketing friends, nobody likes that. Nobody wants it or whatever. And he goes, because you're an idiot and you're a rocket scientist, you wrote the wrong title. He goes, all right. He goes, I'll write a new title for you. I go, what? And he goes, I'll do it in a couple of weeks. And he goes, never mind. I know where you know what it is. What on earth are we doing to our health? You're a rocket scientist, earth, health, change the title. So they can go get the book for like $9. I may end up start to give it away for free. Maybe I'll give you a link. Here's what we'll do for your listeners. I'll send you a link. They can download it for free. Go read that book, and it's easy. I tried really hard to write it, so it's simple, but it's a lot of what we just talked about. And I'll give you the PDF
Yeah.
link or whatever. And I'll give you the straight PDF link and just put it in your notes, and then just go download that. Start with that. Start with the book.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we'll put all that. We'll put your website and we'll put the link to the PDF in the show notes so you guys can go and check it out and geek out with us. And absolutely. Well, Mark, thank you for the work you're doing. And thank you so much for joining me today and really teaching me and giving me more of the vocabulary of how to explain this to, the average person. And understanding is everything. So I appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. This is a great talk.